What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Road to Results podcast where we're all about uncovering the mindset journey. I'm Rhy, that's Ray, and that's Ray, and I'm Rhy. Either way you slice the pie. And we are excited to be with you all again today on this episode. And we're going to just keep things rolling. So if you are with us, if you are watching us on the live stream on YouTube or on Facebook, be sure to share this video. Just like Inspector Gadget said, it will dissolve. It will go away after a few hours. So you are getting it live and exclusive. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you for, again, just rocking with us. Be sure to share this podcast, like the podcast, and most importantly, engage with us. If you don't know by now, if you don't know us by now, I'm not even gonna go there now, for real. So if you don't know us by now, we want to engage with all of y'all. And what does engagement look like? Drop questions in the chat. We did a pop-up live just a couple of days ago in our Facebook group. So if you're not on our Facebook group, please go to the Facebook group Road #2 Results Podcast, and you will see us on there. And we did a pop-up because we're like, yo, let's see what our community wants to talk about. Let's see what questions they have. We're still going to be dropping these nuggets from the UOU Mastermind, which again, can't believe 52 weeks long is the program. And this is episode a lot. I'm not even going to say the exact number because I don't want to be wrong with it, but it's July. It's end of July. Towards the end of July, we started back in late February. So we are rocking and rolling, and everything is just really starting to come to fruition. So Ray, what's going on with you, bro? Talk to the people. How are things with you? I know summer's going by quick, bro, but just, catch us up.
Bruh, they got less than a month left before you got to go back to school. I'm like, yo, really? Because the schedule changes for everybody when that happens. But right now, I'm standing up because I got me a stand-up desk. I was putting this up today before this lovely opportunity, and my back is tight. But standing up gonna make me feel all right. But first off, I'm not a rapper.
That's what's up. Yeah, I actually rock with the wobble chair, and I have a sit stand as well, which I also use. But then I use the wobble chair. You know what the wobble chair is? The little wobble. It's those chairs that they have in the schools. Actually, the kids have it. There's no back to it, but you can move around on it. It actually forces you to engage your core. So saying by the time I'm done with this pod, I'm gonna have a 6-pack. No. but yeah, no, I like it, and it swivels left and right. You know what I'm saying? So I could be like, yeah, I could wobble, and it feels legit. So, but yeah, bro, let's jump into this. So, what we did was we did take some questions that we're gonna definitely address today, and we're still gonna be dropping these nuggets from our most recent mastermind, which again, for those of you just maybe watching us for the first time, we are documenting in real time 52-week coaching program under the leadership of Dr. Eric Thomas, aka E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, and associates. So there's 4 pillars: business development, relationship development, spiritual development, and personal development. So we get the squad coming in Monday through Friday, daily accountability calls, and it definitely, things are shifting. Things are shifting right now, and so we are just wanting to share this in real time. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can just see what we're getting on a weekly. And like Ray said last week, man, we watch these videos and we forget. We forget even how much we've been taking in and pouring out because it is just a part of us now. But we'll watch the videos ourselves and be like, well, I can't remember. I remember that. That was pretty dope. That was pretty deep. Shout out to Janine. Yeah. What's going on, Janine from the Netherlands? Staying faithful. We're keeping roll. So for those of you, that are continuing to rock with us, drop comments and interact and engage with us. We appreciate y'all. And trust me, it is being noted. Yes, get a wobble chair. I'm telling y'all, wobble chair is the way to go. So, all right, let's jump into this, man. Let's talk about some wins. What are some wins? Because again, road to results. Results. What are some wins? Eric. What are some wins that you've had in last week or so?
So I want to jump to this one, yo. One of my coaching clients, she listens, yo. Shout out to Jasmine Hernandez. She hit
Hey.
me up today, man. She's one of my coaching clients. She's we served together too. Um, I coached her in boxing when we was in Iraq. We used to just do Friday night fights because we couldn't do anything, so we just fighting each other. Um, but she hit me up today. She sends me a picture and she just got keys in her hands, and she's like, "I did a thing." And you know me, man. I'm like, okay. We've been talking about getting into and strategies and how to do it and other opportunities, but becoming the right person to do it. And she just gonna show up with a photo with keys in her hands, and I'm like, "Did you take someone's house keys?" And now they're like panicking, like, "What's up?" And she's like, "That property we were talking about the other week closed on it." And
Mm.
I was like, "Yo," and she's like, I'm gonna read it. She says, "Right now, I'm just grateful. I never really seen me owning multiple properties at once, but being able to take those steps and into uncomfortable areas is a testament to your coaching. That's one hundo." And I was like, "Yo, like, man, this is she gets it. We've always talked about like I don't want like the thank you and the hug and I appreciate what real. I want to see the results." And she took that literally and she's like, "I ain't saying nothing until I got these keys in my hand." And she's gonna drop a photo in there, bro. And I was like, "Oh," she's like, she's like, "You mad?" I was like, "Nah, dude. I'm happy." Like that was literally, bro. Is from my time is 2:21. She sent that to me at 1:53.
Come on, let's give her
So
some love, y'all.
yeah,
Give her some love. And
yeah,
and by the time people watch this recording, by the time the release of this pod, it's already going to be after your seminar, after your seminar, your real estate seminar. So if you're catching this live or you're lucky enough to catch this on the replay before it goes deleted, make sure you click the links so that you can get connected to the real estate seminar that Ray's putting together. And again, focusing on results. So speaking of real estate results, shout out to your sis, my beautiful wife Danielle. She has two in contract, and now the lenders are doing what the lenders do. So we're just waiting for that clear to close. So she's pumped because she's going to buy one of the little keys that they hold, the clients that hold that said I said yes to the address and all that other stuff. So she's been doing all of that, man. CL 100 inspections, she's in the process right now, and I just love the fact that again we say results yield results. So because now her posture is a little different, because now she's actually got some qualified buyers and she's going to close. Man, she started getting on the phone, started prospecting, started making calls. She has like 3 appointments already set up for next week for some first time home buyers that she's going to be meeting with. And there's just more people now. The phone, inbound calls are coming in because she's in that whole idea of referrals. And again, once you have results, you are going to yield more results. And I got to shout out my wife too, because she also, if you haven't noticed, she started coming on the 6 o'clock calls. So I got to give her props because she does the 6 a.m. with us. And then she has her own accountability call at 6:30 in the morning with her real estate team. So she's getting fed from the
yeah.
ETA community and boom, she bounces right out. So you could imagine the energy she's bringing to her group. So I just, thinking about results in that way. And for myself, a couple different wins. Oh, hold on, let's get some of these comments on the screen here. Yo, what's going on? Let's see. Y'all got big things happening. Hey, we just
That's
following the
Dari. That's
system.
Dari.
Was it?
Dariana, man. She's in
No,
the
no, my
she
bad. It says
she one of
Facebook user
them.
on mine. So
Oh
do
yeah,
me
I
a
got it.
favor,
But I'm up
y'all.
over here. I got a Facebook Live on here. Right.
Click on the
Drop the
click
link
on
in
the
there.
link, y'all, so that Ecamm can get permission to share your beautiful face and your name on our screen. Because on right now it just says Facebook user. But yeah, hey, let's go, and more importantly, let's grow. Let's see. For
Yeah,
myself, bro, I'm excited. I got 2 weeks. I closed a couple more contracts for August. So because the whole process for speaking is you got to have the initial consultation, or actually, you take the lead gen, then you have the consultation. After the consultation, I put together a proposal. I send the proposal over, and then we either negotiate or not. And so far, like 5 for 5, there's no negotiations. Like they're like, okay, that's the price. Boom, we'll send the deposit. Locked in, right? And so now I'm in the phase right now for the 2 week speaking engagement. My goal is to hit 20K. If I'm being honest, we close. We close. So what I'm saying, I'm trying to knock that out.
you
I'm
talking
trying
about
to
you talking
knock
about
that out
for talking about for August?
for the 2 weeks I'm there, like all
Okay.
together. I want to make sure. Look, if I'm leaving my family, If I'm getting on a plane going across the country, and I'll be, up in hotels with my rental car going, because I'm going to be serving at. So here's kind of the itinerary currently. And so if you are watching this live and you know me like that, and you hit a referral up, let me know. But what's happening is I'm going to Reno, gonna fly into Reno. I'm gonna be in Lake Tahoe for 2 days. I'm doing some training for some camp counselors
They need
at
a
a
swim.
at a
They need a
camp
swim
there.
coach. They need a
No, no,
swim
no.
coach.
No swim coaches. I'm just training. I'm training them because they're going to be working with the kids. So that's Monday, that's Saturday, Sunday, the weekend I get there. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm leading a retreat. I'm going to be leading part of a retreat for all the facilitators that are going into schools. And then that Thursday and Friday, I'm doing back to back staff retreats. It's going to be a total of 7 schools. So about 300 teachers, principals, a combination of principals, staff, working with them, getting them ready for the year. Then the following week, I got 2 more gigs that are set, and I have about 2 free days. So I'm trying to fill that up. But yeah, it's just like I said, I'm gonna value and I'm gonna maximize my time when I'm out there, which is what we've been learning through the program of like how do you, maybe I might not get the whole day, but I can offer a half day. And before we got on the call today, I said, hey, I'm flying in to Reno. I got a 3 hour gap. If you want, I can do a 1 hour training for your staff. So like the strategies we've been learning, the ways that we can put our services in a position that makes sense and just add value has been good. And I've been doing my free workshop. So for those of you again just watching, I did a three series free virtual workshop. I'm doing a second workshop next week, which is again teaching facilitation, speakers, so leading small group, creating your testimony, engaging, with your audience, all the things that I do in my work. I just packaged it and made a 3 part series. I made it free so anybody can join. So last time I had about 20 folks on there from all over the country. And guess what the question is? How can we bring you to our church? How can we bring you to train our staff? Like yesterday, you weren't on the call this morning, but
Yeah.
yesterday I went to
Nope.
a youth camp just to be there for. I got invited just to check it out. Youth camp in North Carolina, South Carolina, Kings Mountain Park. It was cool. I just meeting with, hanging out with the kids. It was a Jesus camp. It was a religious camp, and so we were out there just getting to know each other. And then one of the parents was like, "Hey, do you go to New York?" And I was like, I haven't been there lately. And he goes, well, if you're open to it, give me your information because we'd love to have you maybe host you at some of the schools out in New York. Right? I wasn't there for networking like that. But in
Yeah.
natural conversation, being your most authentic self, people see what you do and who you are. And so now there's opportunities in Tennessee and New York to continue just to bring the work that I love to do. So just a little bit of the results that I've been experiencing lately. What's up, Mike? Shout out to Mike Haney, Pennsylvania, in the building. Brandon Wells is also in the building, and the Netherlands is with us. So yeah, so it's been fruitful. It's been fruitful to say the least, and I think something that has been important for me in this whole process, which is what we're going to lead into in this conversation, is you're starting to feel the shift. In our last training, the relationship development, E started mentioning that there's a shift happening in the UOU mastermind right now. Meaning, for those who were in the cohort one, C1, and now we have cohort two, and shout out to cohort two because they're bringing fire. Like they bringing it. I love it. I love it. But the
Fuego.
sh- the shift is happening because now all of a good amount of us in cohort one, because we've just been habit stacking. Shout out to E, right? We've been habit stacking, and now all of the pieces, all of the work we've been putting together is starting to come to fruition in not just in exposure, but in monetarily, in just strategically, in community. And so yeah, so let's just talk about that, bro. Like, in terms of the shift, I mean, things are shifting on your end like crazy. Things are shifting on my end, but people will see that on the outside. But let's take people behind the scenes. Like, what is that? What does it take? Like, what has it taken for you, right? When it comes to the shifts in the way that you've been moving, what would you like attribute to that to in terms of like, again, being on your road to the results you have? that shift that we're experiencing. Talk about that shift, and then what would you say for yourself has been one of the some of the factors that cause that shift to happen?
Yeah, so like I want to go back to literally when you're talking about like Danielle, as far as like her getting these things under contract, and then now she's got a certain different energy. Now she's on the phone making calls. Now she's doing certain things. So it's a matter of understanding that results. When people go, hey, how did you get there? How did you do that? How did you put yourself in this position? Results yield results. Nothing speaks results like results. And when people know that you get results, they're going to come to you for results. Like, I feel like I just said the word 15 times, but it is so true. Like, if you're doing nothing, nothing is going to happen. If you're moving towards a goal of getting a result that you want, every step you take, every little step, you're getting that Bobby Brown in.
Every little step
every
I take.
it's every time you take a step, recognize that as a result. Like there's a subconscious pattern that you need to recognize that every time I achieve something and I move in the direction towards the things that I want my goals to the goals that I want to get done or accomplished, everything you do is a result. And when you get results, they yield results. So the shift that had to happen with me was I wanted to start coaching people. Yes, I was doing the real estate thing. Yes, I do have a webinar coming up. But it's like when my client said she got those keys in her hands, she closed today. And she's like, yo, I never thought, and it's all contributed to you, like the coaching. As much as I don't want to talk about real estate all the time, it gets results. It gets me results. Not even me doing it myself, but helping other people through it. It gets results. But by me actively going through the process of executing in real estate, it has led to me coaching. It has led to me entertaining the idea of speaking. It has led to me getting called up in our mastermind. It has led to me being asked to go speak at I say at this one is virtually, but I will be on Jamal's One Property Away Summit tomorrow. Like that has nothing to do with me asking to do it. It's the fact that I was getting results in other places. So if you want to level up and you want to move to the next level and you said transition, when you have that shift, that transition, it is an area of uncomfort, but that's when the results and the goals start to become a reality. So if you want to get another level of results, you have to continue to get results in the thing that you are doing. But don't get comfortable and don't get stagnant in the area that you're performing where there is no uncomfort in the results that you're attaining. You have to stretch yourself. You have to look for a certain level of uncomfort so that you can continue to grow. That is where growth happens. And it is it is an intention and attention. When I pay attention to my patterns, I need to be intentional about changing the things that I want. If I'm not paying attention and I'm not aware, this goes back to discoveryourdisc.com, Rhys self-awareness program, so you know who you are, what you are, why you are. When you're aware of who you are, when you have attention to the things that you are doing that are creating the results you want and the ones that aren't giving you the results that you want, results are results, the ones you want and the ones you don't want. So when you're getting the ones that you don't want, pay attention to those and be intentional about changing. That means stop doing the things that are getting the results that you don't want and be intentional about moving towards the direction of the things that you do want. So, why am I now offering coaching programs and why am I doing a real estate webinar? Because it's giving me the results of the things that I want. It's bringing me people that are asking for help. It's getting me those things where people are like today, man, that probably couldn't happen at a better time. Just picture of keys in hand. She was like, I'm not even going to talk about it to Ray until I have them in hand. And I was like, yo, because she knows I don't want the gratitude and the hugs and this is what I'm going to do. When you do it, let me know. Like we talk, it's out there, go get it. It's out there. She went and got it. Then she showed me keys. And I'm like,
There it is.
like,
There it
and
is.
bro, that's what it is, man. Like that's what
Hey,
gives me energy. And for people that want a different level of success, whatever that it is, subjective. It's your opinion, it's your view, it's your vision, it's your pattern, it's your
I love that.
mission, it's your goal, it's your progress. Progress through the process and understand that if you want those results that you say you want, you have to act on the things that you're saying that you want
I
and stop
love it.
acting on the things that don't give you the results that you want and don't feed the reality that you want to create for yourself.
Yeah, all right, I love it, and just again, as I'm always looking at things from the perspective of the flight assessment, catch what Ray said. What energizes him is results. What energizes him is the end product. What does a pilot want? They want to get you from A to B. Pilots are problem solvers. What's the issue? What's the problem? Let's just get the result. And so again, being mindful. Now, for someone like myself in my work, you have little breakthroughs, emotional breakthroughs. Like you start to level up in those ways. For me, I'm gonna look at that like, oh yeah, that's what's up. Because again, knowing the personality styles, knowing the personality types, the results are going to look different, or the successes or what we would consider a success will look different. But I love it because Ray's like, yo, when you had a result that energized me. So when I have someone have an emotional breakthrough, when I see someone realizing that, oh, wow, this trauma still coming up, or this is how I'm catching myself, and they're recognizing their unhealthy patterns, they're recognizing all the different things that activate them to get into those unhealthy ways. Boom, money. Like that's it. Because that's going to take them to be able to get the results that they're looking for on their life. And I love what you said because it just was last week. We talked about the African wild dogs again, but we learned more characteristics of the AWDs. And what you just said, work in silence and let success be your noise. Work in silence and let success be your noise. And that's exactly what your client did. They said, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not even going to give progress updates. I'm going to just work quietly, do everything he's telling me, take the nuggets and apply the knowledge. And then I'm going to just send him a picture
And
of the
I'm
keys
and I'm
of
gonna
the
bring
results.
back the results. I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
bring
bring
it
back the
back.
results.
Went
And,
out
and
there,
I think
killed
that's
it,
where a
and
lot
brought
of
it
us,
back.
a lot of us, and we talk about this time and time again. Many of us get caught up in the clout. Many of us get caught up in even just like again, not to say don't celebrate the small wins, right? The little stepping stones, but don't get so caught up in the progress, which is good, that it actually takes you away from getting the result. Right? People want to start a business, they get the LLC, people will get the business account, like they got this fuel and this fire, but then it's like, okay, that's cool, you set it up, but now what? And then I started noticing more and more folks start dying out, the steam goes away, the energy goes down. But in the moment, they're like, oh, it's showing everybody and their mama like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's on the gram, it's on the Facebook, and then all of a sudden, it's like, where you at now? So the question I got to ask all of our audience and our viewers are like, what would you rather be? Would you rather work in silence and have the results? Or would you rather like share every little thing that's going on, all the excitement, like you doing something, but you really ain't?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, shout out to Mike for having this whole squad there. He said he got the company watching,
Come on,
watching the
fam,
company.
fam.
Hey, now I'm feeling the pressure. Now I'm feeling the pressure
Ain't no pressure.
to
We just
to
being
to,
fam.
to
Shit,
show
Dariana.
up.
There you go, Dariana. You
You
got it
know,
right. There it
yeah,
is.
yeah. You know I'm lying. Yeah, so it's like, yo, okay, don't get so caught up on the progress. That's why I say tell people progress through the process. Progress through the process because then all you're looking to do is get to the next step, get through the next mile, get through that next road marker wherever it is you're going. Because guess what? The process never ends.
Never.
If you're always focused on the progress, you're looking for something to end. And when there's another step to take, you're burnt out.
Facts.
So we get caught up when we set up the business. You're like, yo, I want to start a business. I want to run a business. And then you get the LLC and then you get the bank account and then maybe you get a business credit card. And then guess what? Now the work starts.
Come on.
Now you
Come
got
on.
Mike Haney's, you got employees that you got to mentor. You
Come
got to
on.
give them guidance. You got to show them the
Let's
progress.
go.
You got to show them that, hey, you want to get to another level where you have responsibilities and you want to grow. And I tell them all the time, if you want more, you got to prepare for more. This is the prep work. If you want to get stronger and you want to lift more weights, you got to get in the gym. Because as you grow and your success grows, your responsibility grows. And if you don't grow with it, you don't get stronger. It's going to break you. Like
All
I
right.
want
So
people to
look.
understand that if you don't grow with the process, if you don't grow with the every level that you're trying to obtain, that you're trying to get to, it will break you. And then all of a sudden it didn't work. All of a sudden these steps, oh, that was them. I don't know that it didn't work for me because you didn't grow with it.
Yep.
You have to grow with it. And part of the process of growing with it is understanding who the people are in your network that you can lean on, who is in your community, who is in your pack that you can lean on when stuff starts to get heavy. Because as
That's
you
it.
begin to become successful, you begin to separate yourself from the common folk. And I don't mean that in
Facts.
a disrespectful way. If
Oh
you're
yeah.
trying to be different and you're trying to perform and you're trying to grow, you have to separate yourself from those who are not.
All right.
So
So
when you
let's
think it gets easier, It does not. Hey, hold up, hold up. I got a stand up desk now.
Boy, the posture is different when you start standing up. That's why I got the wobble chair, bro. And like sitting in a chair, I don't normally speak from a chair, so I'm feeling you. But and just because I want to make sure that we address some of the questions that we got last week, and I think this goes with it. So Janine asked a question. She was like, "How do you deal with others, right? The distractions around you when you're trying to do things and trying to move a certain way." So just like you said, or other people, right? Like at the end of the day, remove the distractions. And when you are with your pack, when you are with the people who are like minded, who are in alignment, and that's why we talk about core values all the time in our mastermind. If you don't know what your core values are, right? Because for me, emotional intelligence, integrity, discipline, what is it collaboration mindset, all the different things that I do, if it doesn't align with that and the people I'm working with aren't in alignment with any of those values of mine, then I just can't spend my time with them. And so you got to ask yourself, so to Janine's point, first of all, what are your core values? Do you have them memorized? Do you know what they are? And is every move you're making, every contact you have, every conversation you're having, everything you're posting online, any email you're sending, is it to people or is it with people who are in alignment with those core values? Because if not, then the easy answer is you got to let them go. You got to just separate yourself because it's not getting you anywhere. It's not getting anywhere. So when it comes to just removing the distractions, the easiest way to do that is look at what are your core values. I mean, literally, what are your core values? What do you value the most? And are the people and the places that you're spending your time with, your precious time with 168 hours a week, are they in alignment with those core values? Are the things you're doing in alignment in public and in private? I'm gonna go there, y'all. Are they in alignment with your core values? Because if they're not, then yes, those distractions are gonna take you out the game. It's gonna pull you away so quick. Ray and I will be quick to tell you, as a flight attendant and as a pilot, we move quick. And there's, that school, they call it that looking at the squirrel syndrome. We'll look around and we'll get caught up quick. But yeah, so just to emphasize that idea of how we move now is more focused, is more in unison. How we move now as African wild dogs in the sense of the pack, we're not hyenas. So ask yourself, are you a hyena or are you a African wild dog? Because that's what that in the training, it was like the hyenas like to howl and make noise, let you know they're there, but not the wild
Yep. Every
dogs.
time they do something, every time they get a little win, every
That's
time,
it.
every time they steal someone else's scraps, they out here hooting and hollering about it.
That's it.
But
That's
yeah,
it.
so I know specifically what Janine is talking about, and it's more so like a work opportunity that is not in alignment with the message that you're trying to send. So when there is necessity, so how do you avoid those distractions? Like I don't even necessarily know if I have the best answer for it. Like when there's necessity and there's need on the financial point, and it's not truly in alignment with what you're trying to do in this world, is that a distraction or is that just something that it's like maybe this is just a step in the right and a step to position me to do the things that I want to do? Because I truly understand, like I get like, yo, there is necessity and there is need to provide, and when an opportunity comes up that's not necessarily in alignment with the message and stuff that you're trying to share, it's nothing super negative. It's just like it's a product or whatever, as far as like marketing, but it's not in alignment. So how do you maintain your message if there's an opportunity to provide for your why, but it's not necessarily like it's kind of so do you do this or you do this? So how do you stay focused when those things come up?
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely a deep question, and that's gonna be different individually. Now that if you were sharing with me that, it's like for me again, and I was sharing with you earlier when you were talking about low, get the results that you need because it's going to yield more results. And I wanted to share that. For example, myself, I started a mental hospital 11 years. While I was doing that, I was doing other work that aren't necessarily what I'm doing now. And Danielle, we keep playing with the idea of turning into this power couple in the real estate space, like because the business model that she has, like, hey, just get licensed, let's do this thing. And I'm like, hold on, little Wody. Like, take your time. We got plans. Right? We got plans because real estate investing is the ultimate goal. Owning some land, owning multi units, apartments, whatever that might be. So I look at speaking and training because it's what I love, and of course it's the bread and butter. It's my tree trunk. As like, yo, this is seed money. So I'm not turning down opportunities, even though I know what I'm taking and I'm reinvesting it to something else. So kind of like in your situation, your real estate is like the trunk in the sense of the vehicle, but it's funding all the things that you're doing. It's kind of like when Jamal was talking about the police, Chicago PD, right? What did they do? They funded his all of his real estate projects.
Yeah.
So if you're in a situation where you're not where you want to be right now, look at what you have in front of you. Make sure you take care of that, steward that properly. Because how can you get the next thing if you're not even taking care of the thing in front of you the way you should be?
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that there's something there to just really contemplate on. We're always going to be in situations where even as entrepreneurs and you're in your dream job, there's always going to be days where you're not feeling like wanting to do what you know you need to do. And that's the whole point of being in the community. That's the
Say
whole
that
point.
again. Say that again.
I said
Bro, say that again.
you might be in the industry and have your dream job, but you might be facing some things that you don't even want to do or you don't like to do. You could be, you know what I'm saying? You could be in your space. Like for me, I love speaking. I love, training and I love connecting with people. But guess what I got to do for now on the back end? I got to do the contracts. I got to do the paperwork. I got to do the logistics. Am I looking to bring someone on? Absolutely. But I'm not going to just bring anyone on because they got to be in alignment with core values.
Yeah.
So even though it right now it's a tough point because I'm like I should be out there getting more business. I should be out there doing more whatever it is I do, and then let other people handle stuff in the back end, which is the plan. But in the meantime, in between time, like yo, just do it because you already know how.
Yeah.
And this is part of the process. This is part of the growth. This is part of the
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah. No,
Tariana
it's
says, I wonder if let's see if it wouldn't be a bad idea for the one you do real estate and one of you do insurance. I'm licensed in all areas of insurance and myself. One of my goals is to have it. Is that legal to insure your own properties?
I don't think so.
I'm not
I don't know.
sure. I know.
But I don't think that sounds like a conflict of interest for like an actual insurance policy to be validated if someone were having. But yeah, as far as like that goes, I mean, that's two right there. Like even with Danielle bringing that up, I want y'all to recognize that statement right there. Like that's coming up because of her excitement in the start and the results that she's getting. She's like, yo, getting these results. Yo, we can do this and kill this because she's in that initial stage of growing this. But once that dies down, I don't know if that same conversation is going to be had because we can get excited with the results of the thing that we're doing that we forget why we're doing it. That's again why we say what you do can never be bigger than why you do it. And if you keep your why and the vision in mind, what you're doing will never be too exciting. It will never be too low. There will never be a moment where you forget why you're doing it. So don't get caught
Absolutely.
up in the financial piece. Because yeah, I get it. It is a necessity. It's a need. It's a thing. But it's also it is the byproduct of the value that you bring, and how much value are you going to bring? If you're only focused on that, you'll only be valued at the focus that you're focusing on, the target that you're looking at. You'll
Yep.
never look beyond that piece. These are steps. This is a tool to leverage the moment, the experience, and the energy needed to get the results that we actually want. So that's why when real estate is something that I'm known for, and people get confused when they're like, yo, you don't like it? And I'm like, no. But it allows me to do, for the most part, whatever I want. I'm not saying like I'm out here just like balling, but I'm not in a hurry to go find a job. I'm looking to coach people to bring them out so I get more. I want more pictures with people with keys in their hands. Like, yo, I did it. And them understanding it's about who you are to make these things become a reality. So when you start becoming more of a whatever it is, spiritually, personally, professionally, relationally, you can provide more. I'm more valuable. And when you are more valuable to the workplace, the environment, the community, and everything, people are going to notice that and they're going to reciprocate that. Whether it's financially, whether it's support, whether it's offering to do services for you. Shout out to the UOU Wild Dogs that that are still continuing the movement from the UOU Summit. And one of the members then reached out, asked if she can offer to help me with something. Like, literally just asking if she can help. And I was like, you know what? Bet, yeah, here. Like, this is something I can use some assistance on. This is on my to-do list, but it's on my to-do list for like a month, maybe a little bit longer from now, because of everything that I'm currently, nugging away at, including us, the things that we're supporting Eon, working on this webinar, still operating as a lender, building this coaching program, looking for clients, all these other things that people are like, oh, well, they're just doing this. Like, no, there's other things that are happening that lead you to this position. So when you start serving people, someone steps up and starts serving you, you can then grow the community, and you're then, it's what did E say when we were in Mexico? He said, when you pour into people and you give them that value and you are valuable to them, just your presence in your conversation alone, they're endeared to you. So why is this so important to continue to grow as an individual and keep the one thing, or the main thing? Because as you grow into it as an individual and as you progress through the process, you become more valuable. And when you're valuable to other people, they are endeared to you. They're not in servitude to you. They are endeared to you. They're willing to go above and beyond for you because of what you've done for them. And if I can do more for you, the only way I can do more for you is for me to become more, for me to grow as an individual, as a professional, as a spiritual being, as whatever it is, as a member of the pack. If I become more for you, you're going to be endeared to me. So it is a selfless selfishness that comes about it, but I'm constantly trying to be more valuable to you. Because
Hey,
as I grow, you grow, we grow. Let's
hey,
grow.
bet. And I'm gonna simplify this. This was literally just inspired right now. I as Ray was talking about value, y'all. Here it is. 3 steps when it comes to value. Make sure you write this one down. Number one, add value. Wherever you are, add value. You hear this time and time again. No matter what your job is, no matter what your profession is, no matter what position you are in, add value. All right. Number two, recognize that value that you bring. Right. So it's one thing if you're just pouring in, right? Adding the value. Then the next speak is actually recognize, meaning because the people around you, the community, your friends, your family, whoever you're adding value to, they're starting to notice it more. You're seeing the results because of the value you add. Okay. So number 2 is recognize your value. And number 3, this is it. This is the game changer, y'all. We'll put a fork in it after this. Number 3, reposition your value. Reposition it. Add value, know your value, and then reposition your value. Look at what we're doing here. We know we're adding value everywhere we go. We're recognizing the value that we bring, and then we're taking that value and we're repositioning it to be able to grow in other areas in our life. We're taking the principles, we're taking all the core values that we have to everything we touch, but we're not touching it until we know that we can position it in a way where it's going to be seen and recognized the way we want it to be valued. So we're not being used, so we're not being tokens, so we're not being played, but you got to add value, know your value, then reposition it. And when you could master that, and now you're into your full authentic self, now you're in your gift, now you're in your bag in a whole different way, then you won't feel, a lot of employees, right? They feel undervalued, underworth, not seen. So, that as you were talking about value, that came up for me. I was like, oh yeah, that's it. Add value, recognize your value, reposition your value. And when you get good at that, it don't matter the industry, right? It don't matter the circumstances. You just make that formula. Look at what E is doing. He adds value, he knows his value, then he repositions his value. And you could even add repurpose your value if you even want to like take it a
Yeah.
step further.
Yeah.
All right, 2.0, repurpose that value in other spaces and in other places and watch what God does with it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I want for someone out there, someone's got it in their head. I don't feel like I'm valuable. Yo, you are. You are. And there's moments and there's places where you have to truly become aware of who you are and what value you bring. If you're asking Ray to come over here and organize your documents and build your standing operating procedures, I'm not going to be valuable to you in that aspect.
Facts.
But that's because I know him. If I don't know who I am naturally and I do that, I'm going to feel a certain way about the results I'm not giving you because I'm looking about results. But if you ask me to sit down and work on documents and structure it that way, I'm not going to feel like I'm valuable and other people may see me in that aspect. So you have to know who you are, know what you do, know who you naturally. Rhys said, be authentically you. You can only be authentically you if you know who you are. Stop trying to be someone else. Stop trying to be that person to your left that's just killing it in cold calls and whatever it is they do. Stop trying to be them. That's not you. You might need to be a face. You might need to be that person that's out there engaging someone face to face, that's talking to companies, that's looking for those transactions to be closed. Like you might be that person. But you're over here looking at this other individual that's making 35 calls in an hour, and it's like you get on the phone and you just like you got cotton mouth and you can't say nothing. Stop doing that. Like if that's not you, recognize that that's not you and add value to an area that you can naturally add value to, and then grow in it, nurture it, like truly build on that piece. And when you do that and you know that, now you come, whatever environment you're going into, you come in there energized. Energized because you know what you do, you know who you are, and you know who you can add value to. You know where you can repurpose that energy in support of someone else. So although I'm a pilot and I'm very results oriented, I do want to serve people in the capacity I want you to get results. And if you're moving too slow, I'm going to make you move faster because I know what it's going to do for you. But I'm not going to come over here and ask to organize your books. You do not want that. You do not want that from me. I'm gonna
Oh
let you know we
man.
all gonna get in trouble. We all gonna get in trouble.
Facts, brother. Facts. Yeah, y'all. And that's just to tie everything back into like this last week's session that we had on relationship development. And it was just again another deeper dive into the African wild dog, how they serve the sick, they serve those who aren't able to hunt, they move quietly, right? They share exactly. They don't share scraps. They share exactly. They feed whatever they had the first. They don't share seconds, not sloppy seconds or nothing like that. They are legit giving it to you. They eat together. They play together. They fellowship together. So you got to really look at your circle and your squad, and you got to ask yourself, yeah, we can do business good together, but can we do anything else outside of this together? Well, is the chemistry there? And again, doesn't mean y'all gotta be BFFs or anything like that, but it is a factor. It is a factor, right? Again, and so I think one thing that I really appreciated about just diving deeper for me to take away again was they work in silence, let success be their noise. They move together just in a way that you would think a winning squad would move a little different in the sense of like I said, are you a hyena? Well, I didn't even know that they do it quietly. Like that was really the big thing for me. And then they make sure that everyone is eating. They make sure that everyone is taken care of. So they really come off even their high success rate. They're I can think they have the highest success rate when it comes to the hunt. For me, that's like because they move together the way that they do. So if you again, and I think Janine, not Janine, Tiff had a question earlier. Well, what if you don't have the resources? That was her question on Tuesday. What if you don't have the resources and you were to do it all over again? Part of my answer back on Tuesday was have urgency, but don't be in a rush. And have urgency, but don't be in a rush because as we are in a rush, and like I was sharing earlier, when we're in crisis mode, our feelings balloon is getting real full. We're doing things and saying things that are hurtful, harmful to other people, to ourselves, to our businesses. So have that sense of urgency. Don't be in a rush. And just to add on to that, like really evaluate your environment to see if it's really helping you or hurting you or hindering you to get to where you want to go. Because
Yeah.
sometimes your environment is what causes you to not know your value or even recognize it. Some of y'all might be in environments right now where you're bringing the most value, but they'll never let you know, or they'll never act like it. They'll never tell you why, because they want to keep you where you're at. So maybe
Yeah.
you are in phase one, adding value, adding value, adding value, but maybe you don't even recognize how much value because you've never been recognized. Game recognized game. Hey, we own it
Or
right now, y'all. We own it.
or or you might be doing the most. Let's just be real. I can do so much in a job. E talked about this. I don't know if it's one of our calls or some podcast. I don't know. You're doing so much, but it's not required for the position. Like you doing all this and you wonder why you're not getting recognized because it's not part of it. Like you appreciate you, but it's not part of your job. I'm not saying do the bare minimum, but whatever you do, do with all your might. Do it. Like do it. Like kill what it is that you're doing. But if you're out here doing extra stuff and it's not really filling the gap, you just kind of putting little sprinkles on top of stuff that don't necessarily need it.
Come on.
It's that's what I said. It's just being aware, like being aware. It's not me doing the bare minimum or me doing, I'm adding value on top of value. But if it's not needed, then like, what if I was out here just doing E's videos? Like E posts a video and then I'm just posting the same exact message and crediting E. Like he over here like, and I'm over here doing. When you want to succeed as bad as you breathe, then you'll be successful. Dude, like, bro,
Yeah.
like I'm trying to like, yeah,
Hey,
am I thinking I'm adding value? Somebody might hear and not know who E is, but I'm not really adding value to E or to anybody else that knows the community. Because as you start getting into community, like everybody kind of not knows everybody, but everybody's in that same mindset, that
that's
space.
it.
We're all looking to grow. We're all looking to serve. But you have to be aware of those things as far as where you're adding value. And you can add value in areas where there are gaps.
Come on, that's all. Hey, bro, you get into a whole nother pod because at the end of the day, we talk about again, the assessment brings role clarity. That's the one biggest thing I share in all of my trainings, all of my coaching class is role clarity. AKA don't do the things again. It doesn't mean not be aware or learn new things, but sometimes you're right. And I'm guilty. I'll do everything. I'm like the gum, bro. I'm extra. I'll be the one. I'll be just doing extra. But once I started getting clarity, my goal is one of two things. Be in the front of the room, bring the energy, bring the optimism, bring just my preference, which is my high flight attendant, or my second, which is again the opposite is be the grounds crew, be behind the scenes, be quiet, help out, make sure things get done. You're the glue. So those are the two main roles that I play, like in terms of role clarity from what I've been operating on. I'm either in front of the room, speaking, doing what I do, or I'm actually in the back. Total opposite, introvert, but just all about the pace, helping out because I'm a natural helper. Like I've always been that way. So I'll go to a speaking engagement. Funny, I'll go to a speaking engagement. First thing I'll do, like if it's at a church or a youth function, how could I help? Well, can I grab a bag? Can I move some chairs? And I had to remind myself, like, yo, you're not there to do that. Not that it's below you, but you're getting paid to bring your energy. So if you run out of energy because you carrying bags of groceries and chairs and tables and you setting up the whole venue, and then by the time it's time for you to do to do what you do and you don't have the energy, then that's on you. Now, if you give your talk and you do what you do, and then after the fact you want to like give a help, fine. But it was like I had to remind myself, like, why are they hiring you? Why are they bringing you? What's the deliverable? And I think that's something where we got to be very careful because again, it's energy management, role
Mm-hmm.
clarity, and people are not going to hire people who don't have clarity. People aren't going to bring people back that don't deliver, that don't deliver the deliverables. I mean, that's just, again, there's always going to be a business aspect, especially when we're talking road to results in our businesses. And of course, it's more than just business for us. But again, I think that's just something to be mindful of no matter what you're doing. Where is your energy going? How are you managing that energy? And then going back to value and core values. I mean, there's, again, a lot of gems here. But as we get ready to wrap up, first of all, let me just shout out Dariana. Dariana has been active in the chat, Appreciate you. Janine is also active in the chat. Mike Haney and the crew. Thank y'all for just rocking with us. I see Brandon Wells up in there, showing some love. And again, just appreciating y'all for number one, just taking your time out of your Thursday to be with us the time of this recording. And just more importantly, we pray that you just continue to apply. And remember, even when you apply, and I'm going to hand it off to Ray to close this out, but even when you apply and you don't get the results that you wanted or hoped for, you still got data. You still got the data. And when you have the information, like we say time and time again, information changes situations. So make or miss, get the data, take it back to the lab, make the adjustments, and do it again. And do it again. And do it again.
Let's do it again. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got. Man, all I got to say is, going back to the beginning, results breed results. And I don't know what else there is really to say about that. So if you aren't getting the things that you want out of your life, you said data. What information are you consuming? What information are you applying? If you keep getting the same results in your life from day to day, from week to week, from month to month, from year to year, if you look back and you can't tell me what's different from 2022 to 2023, that's a result. Make the adjustment. Put yourself around the right people that are going to give you the right information, that are going to hold you accountable. When someone comes to you and says, hey, you said you were going to do this and you're not doing it. And you know, if you did that one thing, that it would change the complete outlook and perspective in the way that you experience this life, that you only get to do one time. If you just applied that information, it's not bigger than that. It's not easy, but it's not complicated. And when I say it's not easy, because it's hard for us to change, because we are creatures of habits. But that same statement, when you're a creature of habit, what are your habits? Your habits come from the information that you apply on your day to day. I'm going to get up at 6, but I hit the snooze button. I don't get up till 7. I'm going to go to the gym. I don't feel like it because I'm sore because I went yesterday, so I'm not going to go today. It's not a habit. If it's negotiable, it's not a habit. So what results do you want that you're not willing to negotiate? I'm not willing to negotiate the freedom that I have, the autonomy of my time. You said it before, I got 168. I want to be in control of that 168, but I'm going to let you know right now, and I've posted about it. Bro, I'm tired, but I know what I'm pushing for. What I'm doing is not bigger than why I'm doing it, and I'll always be present for my why. Even though she's in summer camp and she don't want to be here right now because she wants to hang out with other kids, I get it. But what I do will never be bigger than why I do it. And I know where my 168 is going. I know why I'm moving the way I'm moving. Do you know why you're moving the way you're moving? Do you know why you're dissatisfied with the experience that you're currently having in this life? And if you're not, step back, take a deep breath, evaluate your actions and the information that you're consuming on a day-to-day and the things that you're applying in your life. And it has nothing more to do that. So if you want the results if you want the results that you actually want and not the ones that you're receiving, reevaluate and take the action steps necessary to get those results. And if it has nothing to do with it, throw it away. And this includes people. Not every relationship is meant to stay. Some of them may be there for a season. Some of them may be there. Heard this the other day, bro. Judas had a role. He had a role he had to play for Jesus to go to the cross. Someone in your life that you're holding all this grudge to, that you're making all these decisions to prove them wrong. He had a role in order for Jesus to get to the cross. There's people in your life that play a role for you to not live in that betrayal or live in that disdain or live in that anger that they've done for you. People, jobs, bosses, friends, family, whatever it is, even you of yesterday. If you did something that you're not happy with, but you're holding on to that, you will always be there. That was a result, but it may have been necessary to give you to that last little bit of, the last straw. It broke it. I need to keep moving. And if you just understand that piece, that I just broke that last piece, now it's time to make the adjustment and let's go. I don't want that no more. But it was necessary. You and I have done some things that, we don't want no more, but it's necessary and we had to shift. So we'll get back right to the beginning. We had to make the shift necessary to completely change the perspective and the experience that we're living in this life.
There it is.
So if y'all want that,
There
results
it is.
breed
And
results.
just to complete your last sentence about, people that come in your life. It's a reason, a season, or a lifetime. That's it. People will come into your life in those 3 ways. That's it. That's all. So anyways, y'all, we appreciate you again for being with us. And these lives will be taken down off the Facebook group and on the YouTube, but this will be repurposed and back on our YouTube channel so you can see all the comments. Thank y'all for engaging with us. We definitely appreciate y'all. Again, we are just continuing to pour out whatever we can so that you can get the results, and more importantly, we support each other so we all get results. And like we always say, don't just go with us.
Grow with us.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, y'all.
Standing desk only.
Yee. Peace.